Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a University of Tampa frequently asked questions. I decided to make this video because I've actually had a decent amount of people reach out to me on Instagram asking a couple questions to help them make their decision to either choose the University of Tampa or not to choose the University of Tampa. Or I've even had some incoming freshmen just asking me for advice because they're nervous about coming, or they just want to know a little bit more about Tampa and what it's all about. So here it is. I'm going to answer a couple of questions, and yeah. First, I'm going to be answering questions about the academic aspect of Tampa, since I didn't really get into that in my last University of Tampa video. Was more just about the fun I've had. So the first question is, what's your major? I am an advertising and public relations major. I was originally a musical theater major when I was a freshman, but I decided it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. So over summer break after my freshman year, I switched my major, and I am beyond happy that I did, because I'm just so much happier in this major, although I do miss my musical theater classes. The next question that I got is, what are the class sizes like? And this is actually one of my favorite parts about Tampa. Since the student body is a little bit smaller than most schools, the class sizes are only about like 20 to 30 people. I did have one lecture where it was 60 students, but that was the biggest class I've ever had since I've been here, and I'm pretty sure this school doesn't do class sizes any bigger than 60. I could be wrong. Typically business classes and science classes are usually a bit larger. I can only really speak on behalf of my major, but I do know that the class sizes are never near 100, so you don't have to worry about that. I personally like this because although it does kind of feel like high school, it just lets you have a much stronger bond with your professors, and it's a more personalized experience, and it's a lot easier to focus, because I can't even imagine trying to focus in a classroom with 300 students. So yeah, class sizes are super small, which I like. The next question I got was, are your classes difficult? I think this definitely depends on the major you have. I know some people who are in the nursing program who definitely have a harder time than me, but it really just depends on the person, and it depends on the class. For my major, I haven't really bumped into classes that are too difficult, but that could be because I'm very interested in advertising and public relations, so that definitely makes it a bit easier for me. They're definitely getting harder as I'm progressing closer to my senior year, but overall I would say that it's not too difficult balancing it. As long as you have good time management skills and you're not a big procrastinator, then you'll be fine. Another question that I got, which I actually wish I had someone to ask when I was going to Tampa, is it bad to go in undecided? The answer is absolutely no, it is not bad. Sometimes I kind of wish I went in undecided, only because I felt so pressured to choose a specific major that I went in for musical theater, and some of the classes that I took, now that I switched majors, they don't count towards anything. Luckily, most of my classes did end up counting for humanities fine arts, but it's definitely not bad to go in undecided, because this way you get your gen eds out of the way, and then you can kind of dip around and see which field you feel best fit for, and then you'll end up in a major you actually belong in. But honestly, there are so many students who end up switching majors, so I would just say go in undecided and give yourself the time to experience the different classes, and you can figure out for yourself where you belong. So another question I got is, did they take high school credits? And I actually came in with, I think, 10 or 12 credits. So yes, they took so many of my high school credits, and this was amazing for me because all students have to take gen eds, so like social studies, math, science, those types of classes. I got credits accepted for social science, for writing, for a math, for a science, so I didn't have to take as many classes here, and this allows me to graduate a semester early, which is going to save me a lot of money, so I'm super grateful that they took my credit. I believe most AP classes only need to get a 3 on the exam to get credit at UT, but I know some of them vary. There is a place on the University of Tampa website where you can check which grades get accepted. So yeah, another question that I was asked is, do you like your professors? It's kind of hard to answer just because I've had so many different professors. I have actually liked pretty much all of my professors. I haven't had a singular professor that I've been like, oh my god, I need to drop this class, I hate them, I'm miserable. I've definitely had experiences within the semester where I've been miserable in classes, but overall, all of my professors have been super supportive. I've had some experiences, obviously, where classes are harder than others, but I just see that as the professor trying to challenge you and push you in a good direction, even though it sucks. But yeah, I would say I've had a pretty good experience with professors. So now that I've talked a little bit about academics, I'm going to switch over to more of the social and just environmental, I don't really know how to word it, aspect of UT, so let's get into it. So the first question that I was asked that probably a lot of you are wondering is what the nightlife is like at UT. So I will start by saying UT is extremely bar heavy. So if you're not really a fan of bars, you might not love the night scene here. To be more specific, it actually is more clubs than bars. So what I mean by that is there's dance floors, there's DJs. It's not really like a standstill, sit at the bar type thing. It's more walk around and meet people. So yeah, it is very bar and club heavy. So if you're not a fan of that, good luck. Besides bars and clubs, there are a decent amount of frat parties, but typically they're only about once a week. So if you're more of a house party person, you might not really love the Tampa night scene. But on top of all of those things, there are also a ton of really cute restaurants you can go to with friends. They'll be playing music and will be fun, and you'll get a good experience from that. So the next question that I'm gonna answer is, can you have a car on campus? If you're a freshman, you cannot have a car, but if you aren't, then yes, you can have a car. Going off this question, I had someone ask me as a freshman, how do you get around since you can't have a car? Honestly, Uber is gonna be your new best friend. That's typically how most freshmen get around, is everyone just hops in an Uber and splits the price. But they also did just add a bunch of electric scooters around Tampa, which is really cool because you just download an app and you can see where a scooter is around Tampa, pick it up, scan it, and then you can take it wherever you want. And the scooters are really cheap, so that's definitely a bonus. You have free bike rentals on campus, which I did a ton my freshman year. Besides Ubers, joining a sorority really helped me out with transportation because I did get to know some older students who did have cars, so I would definitely say Greek life helps out with that, but that can really apply for any club that you join or any way that you get involved on campus that you can meet more people. The next question I'm going to be answering is, are there things to do off campus? And my god, yes there are. It's one of my favorite parts about the University of Tampa that there is just so many things that you can do off campus that you're trying to squeeze all of it into the 4 years of being a student, or however many years you decide to go here. Disney isn't too far away, Universal's pretty close. I went to SeaWorld recently, so there's just so many different places you can go. And on top of that, if you are a beach bum, there are tons of beaches you can go to. Typically people go to St. Pete or they go to Clearwater. If you want to check out some of the different places that I recommended, you can click here on my original University of Tampa video. Answer is an overwhelming yes. There are so many things to do off campus. The next question I'm going to be answering, someone asked me, since it is a smaller school than most, is it cliquey? Like most of the questions that I've answered, it really depends on the different people that you meet. There's definitely some clickiness, but I feel like that's gonna happen anywhere you go. I wouldn't say there's like a popularity complex like there is in high school. Really, people don't give a about what you're doing or who you are. Overall, I would say yes and no for cliquey. I can't really give a direct answer because it really just depends on who you're talking about. So a question that a couple of people have asked me that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same thing is, how does Greek life work at the University of Tampa? Basically, you just go through recruitment, whether it's sorority or fraternity, and there are also a ton of multicultural sororities and fraternities, as well as dancing and stuff like that. You have a business fraternity, so there's just a ton of different sororities and fraternities that you can join. The sorority recruitment, I would say, is a little bit more formal than the fraternity recruitment, just because there's a whole recruitment process that you have to go through, and I should be posting a video about that soon, if not before I post this video. I don't know, it'll be on my channel eventually. Sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't, but another person asked me if it makes or breaks your social experience, and I would say absolutely not. There are so many students at UT who never join Greek life and are perfectly fine, have the same social life, and are just saving money. But it does open doors for opportunities, connections, networking. I've gotten to do a ton of of things that I probably couldn't have done if I wasn't in a sorority. Like, I went to a ropes course, I went to goat yoga, I went to Disney for a discounted price. So it definitely has opened the door for a ton of opportunities, but it doesn't make or break your social experience because you can do just as many things outside of Greek life that you can in Greek life. So now I'm gonna move on to more dorm and campus-oriented questions. So the first question I'll be answering is, how is the food? Oh man, I haven't had the campus food in a while just because I'm a junior and I'm off campus now, so I don't have a meal plan anymore. But I would say the food at UT is probably better than most schools. They have so many different options, and honestly, yeah, I would say the food is pretty good considering that it's college campus food. The different options are, they have a Chick-fil-A on campus, which I had a lot of. They have a place called The Grill, that's burgers and fries. They have a place called Salsa Rico, and it's tacos and burrito bowls and stuff like that. They have a place called Star Ginger that is Chinese food. One of my favorite places was Mindful, and it had egg bowls in the morning and chocolate chip muffins, blueberry muffins. In the afternoon, it had sandwiches that I thought were pretty good. And then there's the cafeteria, which is all you can eat, and they have so many different options. The best is the grilled chicken, remember that. I specifically liked the caf breakfast more than I ever liked the caf dinners. And also there's a plus because Starbucks is also on your meal plan, and there is a Starbucks on campus. So I'm sure this is probably one of the biggest questions that people considering UT would be wondering, and that is, how are the dorms and what are they like? So when I was a freshman, I lived in Morsani Hall, and when I was a sophomore, I lived in Straz Hall. If you compare the dorms to UT to other schools, it would blow your mind. The dorms have so much space. Most dorms have a common area, and they are just so big. You get to choose who you live with, which is nice. I'm not sure if it's still like that, but that's how it was when I lived on campus. Some of the dorms have shared bathrooms that connect to separate rooms, but either way, there is no community bathrooms, so you don't have to worry about that. And that is a luxury compared to most schools. If you're wondering which dorms are nicer than the other dorms, the top dorms at UT, I would say, is number 1, Palm. Everyone wants Palm, not everyone gets Palm. And then Jenkins is the second nicest dorm at UT. It's basically Palm just without the kitchen, so that can be a downside. Morsani, Straz, Vaughn, and Brevard I would probably put into the same category. There's really nothing much nicer about the other ones except Straz has a kitchen. Austin and Urso, I've never actually been in Urso, so I don't really know what it's like, but I have heard absolute horror stories from Austin, so that's kind of an ongoing joke. Even Austin, if you compare it to other schools, is probably a nice dorm, so can't really go wrong with housing at UT. Yeah. So the last question that I'll be answering in this video is, what do you not like about Tampa? When I was a freshman, I highly considered transferring, and I was this close to doing it. And that's because I was feeling homesick. I live in New York. I'm in a long distance relationship, so that made it difficult. I didn't feel like I fit in. And growing up, I've always had a super close friend group that I knew I could trust. But people kept telling me, stick it out, I promise it'll get better. And so I did, and it absolutely did get better. And I'm so grateful that I chose to stick it out because I've met incredible people. I feel so much more at home here. And as time has gone on, there have just been so many more opportunities for me to go out and have a good time that I didn't have being a first semester freshman at Tampa. If you put yourself out there, join Greek life, join a club, join something, opportunities will arise. At first, there's a good chance that you won't like Tampa because a lot of people end up transferring. For me, I found a perfect balance in my friends of people who like to go out and party and people who like to actually go out and adventure and enjoy life. I know some people who had an incredible freshman year, but that was not me. I hated my freshman year, so I guess my least favorite part of Tampa would be freshman year. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped at least just one person trying to make their decision about UT, or just any incoming freshman that needs some advice. If you guys have any other questions about UT, which I'm sure you might, please don't be afraid to either DM me on Instagram or even just comment below. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.